Have you ever wondered why some people seem to walk through life with empty hands, yet always receive unexpected gifts, while others, no matter how tirelessly they strive, find themselves stopped before a firmly shut door? There is a secret, not a trick, not a stroke of luck, but an ancient spiritual law quietly at work in the life of every one of us. And if you grasp it today, it will forever change the way you see and live your life. I want to tell you the story of a woman I once met. She lived in a small rented room with only $2 left in her purse. But instead of feeling fear or surrendering to despair, she placed those $2 on the table and said gently, "I bless you, and I know you will return to me with countless brothers and sisters." She didn't just say it, she believed it with her whole heart. A week later, $6,000 came to her, not from a wealthy relative or a lucky windfall, but through a completely unexpected channel. That was the moment I realized life is not a battle but a game, and in this game, your words are the magic wand. We have been given the power to transform any circumstance, from lack to abundance, from illness to health, from loneliness to love, simply by speaking the right words with unshakable faith that they will come to pass. But most of us use this power without even knowing it. We plant negative commands into our subconscious. I'm always unlucky. I'm not good enough. I'm going to get sick. And the subconscious, like a loyal but blind servant, instantly obeys without questioning. It does not know whether you are just kidding. It only knows to carry out the order. Here is the truth: you cannot stop planting seeds, but you can choose which seeds to plant. And this choice will determine your harvest. Picture this: you stand before a fertile garden, holding seeds of every possibility: health, love, prosperity, joy. Every word you speak, every thought you repeat, is a seed you drop into the soil. The trouble is, many people unknowingly sow seeds of doubt, fear, and lack, then wonder why their harvest is full of thorns. So, how do you play this game wisely? The secret is to learn to speak the right word. The right word is not some rosy phrase meant to lull yourself into false comfort, but a clear, decisive declaration spoken with deep conviction, painting a vivid picture of the result you desire. In this message, we will explore why your words hold the power to create or destroy your reality, how to retrain your subconscious, turning it into your faithful ally, how to recognize and follow intuition, the gentle whisper that leads you to unexpected opportunities, and finally, how to replace every fear with faith so you can unlock the door of destiny no one can close. If you feel stuck in your finances, in your relationships, or in your own thoughts, this is the message you were meant to hear today. Not to inspire vague hope, but to move you toward deliberate action. Because right now, as you sit here reading, you already hold your magic wand. The only question is, what will you choose to create with it? So let us step together into the next chapter, where we will begin to dismantle each invisible curse you have unknowingly spoken into your life, and replace them with miracles so radiant that the entire universe will have no choice but to deliver the very best into your hands. My dear friend, if the introduction was about the game of life and the magic wand of words, then now we step into the very first rule of the game, the law of return. This is a simple yet powerful principle. Whatever you send out will come back to you, often multiplied many times over. And what you send out is not only in your actions, it begins with what you think, what you speak, and what you believe. Picture yourself standing in the middle of a still lake. You toss a pebble into the water, and ripples spread outward, touch the shore, and return to you. Every word you speak, every emotion you nurture, is like that pebble. It radiates outward and then finds its way back. If those ripples are made of love, gratitude, and positive affirmations, they will return carrying more of the same. But if they are ripples of resentment, fear, or doubt, you will sooner or later receive them in kind. I once witnessed an inspiring story about a man named David. He was a street guitarist, homeless, without steady work. Yet instead of drowning in despair every morning, he would sit at his familiar street corner, play cheerful tunes, and smile at passers-by. One day, a music producer happened to hear him stopped to talk, and within months, David recorded his first album. Today, he tours around the world. He told me I only send out what I want, to receive joy, enthusiasm, and trust in the good. Here lies the secret: you cannot expect a harvest of wheat if the seeds you plant are weeds. If you want to receive something, give it first in your thoughts, in your words, and in the way you treat yourself and others. But this is where many people get stuck. They plant seeds of fear and lack without realizing it. When they say I'm always broke or no one cares about me, they are issuing direct orders to the subconscious. And the subconscious, like a fertile yet unthinking field, will grow whatever you plant, whether weeds or roses. That's why the first step to applying the law of return is to become the watchful guardian of your mental garden. Every time you're about to speak something negative, pause and replace it with a positive affirmation. Not to deceive yourself, but to reprogram the pathway through which the universe sends its response. Try this small exercise. When you feel like saying, "I'm so tired," change it to, "I am restoring my energy and vitality." When you want to say, "I never have good luck," change it to, "Good things find me in the most unexpected ways." At first, this may feel awkward, but remember you are planting new seeds, and the soil of your subconscious needs time to recognize and nourish them. Think of yourself as a painter, with each sentence you speak being a brushstroke. The picture of your life will reflect exactly what you have painted. If you want that picture to be filled with light, then begin painting and speaking things that carry light. Another uplifting example is Linda, a single mother of 2 young children. She worked as a cashier at a supermarket, constantly stressed about money. After attending a talk on the power of words, Linda began each day with the affirmation, "All my needs are met abundantly in the most perfect ways." Within 3 months, she was promoted to shift manager, her salary doubled, and most importantly, she said she felt more peace and trust in life than ever before. You see, your words are orders you send to the universe. Make sure you are placing the right order for what you want to receive. And here is my invitation to you. Let's make this video a shared space where people post their affirmations. Let the comments section become a seedbed of powerful words, so that anyone who stops by can gather inspiration and plant it in their own lives. I believe that when we send out positive energy together, the law of return multiplies its power. In the next part, we will dive deeper into how the subconscious, the conscious mind, and the superconscious work together to turn your words into reality. This is the key to not only speaking the right word, but also connecting it to a source of power greater than yourself. Don't miss it, because once you understand this structure, you'll begin to see miracles happen faster than ever before. My dear friend, in the last part, we explored the law of return, the golden principle that whatever you send out will circle back to you. Now we will go deeper into the inner machinery that makes it all work, the 3 levels of the mind: the conscious, the subconscious, and the superconscious. Once you understand how these 3 levels cooperate, you will know how to turn every word into a powerful seed and guide it toward the result you desire. First, imagine your mind as a 3-story building. On the ground floor is the conscious mind, the brightly lit room where you receive all information from the outside world. The conscious mind sees life as it appears and often judges based on the evidence before its eyes. It is where you plan, reason, and analyze, but also where doubt and limitation can easily creep in. One level below, you enter the subconscious mind, a quiet, windowless room full of immense power. The subconscious does not argue or question. It simply takes orders and carries them out. If you tell it, "I am always healthy and full of energy," it will set everything in motion to make that true. But if you tell it, "I'm always sick," it will also faithfully carry that out. The subconscious does not know right from wrong, it only knows obedience. And at the very top, on the highest floor, is the superconscious mind, the place that connects directly to the perfect blueprint of your life. This is the realm of the soul of intuition, of sudden flashes of inspired ideas. The superconscious is not limited by circumstances or logic. It simply knows how to lead you to the best outcome, in the best way, if you allow it. Many people live only on the ground floor of the conscious mind, and trap themselves within the limits of what their eyes can see. Some understand the power of the subconscious, but let it be programmed by negative memories or careless words. Very few learn to climb to the top, the superconscious, to receive guidance and inspiration from an infinite intelligence. So how do we engage all three levels in harmony? Here are some simple but powerful steps. Observe your conscious mind. Throughout the day, notice what you say and think. Each time you catch yourself self-talking in a negative way, stop and ask, is this the command I want my subconscious to carry out? Program your subconscious. Every morning and evening, when your mind is in a relaxed state, repeat 3 to 5 positive affirmations. For example, I welcome prosperity easily and joyfully. Repeat them with faith, without rushing. Connect to your superconscious. Spend at least 5 to 10 minutes a day, sitting quietly, no phone, no distractions. Ask a simple question. What is the best next step for me? Trust that the answer will come maybe immediately, maybe in a few hours or days, through a friend, a book, or a sudden urge to act. I remember a woman named Sarah who came to me deeply worried about her job. She disliked her current environment but was afraid to quit because she had no plan B. We began by having her observe her daily speech. She realized she kept repeating, "I'm stuck here." We replaced it with the affirmation, "I am moving into the perfect job for me, where I am respected and well compensated." Every evening, she pictured herself walking into a new office, greeting kind colleagues and feeling happy. 3 weeks later, an old friend unexpectedly called, inviting her to join a new project, exactly the kind of work Sarah had dreamed about. Sarah's story shows this truth. When the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious speak with one voice, the universe arranges the circumstances for your desire to become reality. Here's a practical daily guide you can start today. Morning, upon waking, place your hand over your heart and speak aloud. 3 affirmations you want to see come true that day. Midday. When facing a challenge, take a deep breath and remind yourself everything is unfolding to bring me the best. Evening, before sleeping, write down 3 things you are grateful for and 1 clear image of what you want to attract. I invite you to join our 7-day 3-Mind Alignment Challenge with our community. Share in the comments the affirmation you'll use for the next 7 days so we can track results together. No one plays this game alone. We are here to lift each other up. In the next part, we will explore the power of words, the magic wand that can open or close any door in your life. You'll see why a single sentence can change the entire course of your destiny, and more importantly, how to speak the right sentence at the right moment. My dear friend, now it is time for us to touch the golden key that Florence Scovel Shinn called the power of the spoken word. If the 3 levels of the mind are the engine, then words are the command that starts it. And here's the wonder, or the danger, this engine never stops to ask, whether you are joking or serious, whether you desire something or fear it. It simply receives the order and carries it out. Perhaps you've had the strange experience of saying something only to watch it come true in an uncanny way. Florence once told the story of a woman who often said, "I hate winter, every year I catch a cold." And sure enough, every winter she was bedridden. But when she replaced that statement with "winter brings me peace and vibrant health," her body began to respond differently. Why are words so powerful? Because every statement you make is a command to the subconscious, and the subconscious works to fulfill that command, drawing on any resources and opportunities it can find. Words create mental images. Those images stir emotion. And emotion is the energy that attracts the matching experience. The important truth is this: you can deliberately replace negative commands with positive affirmations. Florence called this the law of substitution. You don't need to fight the wrong. You simply replace it with the right. We all at times slip and speak words like, "I never have enough money," I'm so clumsy. I'm always getting sick. Nobody cares about me. I'll probably fail. These phrases may sound harmless, but they are seeds of lack, helplessness, and failure planted in the fertile soil of the subconscious. Instead of letting such words rule your life, you can replace them with affirmations that plant a new reality. For example, instead of "I never have enough money," declare "money flows to me easily and frequently from many lawful sources." Instead of "I'm clumsy," affirm "I move with grace and confidence in every situation." Instead of complaining about poor health, say "I am strong, healthy, and filled with energy and vitality." When you feel abandoned, remind yourself "I am loved, valued, and deeply connected." Even when fear of failure arises, affirm "I am always guided to perfect success." Every positive statement is a seed you plant in the soil of your mind. Nurture it with faith and repetition, and you will see it take root, sprout, and grow into visible blessings in your life. Here's the key affirmations: must be in the present tense, concise, positive, and worded in a way that makes you feel the reality of them now. The more vividly you feel it, the more clearly the subconscious receives the command. John's story illustrates this beautifully. Once a successful businessman, he went bankrupt and began to repeat, "I'm afraid I'll fail again." And predictably, every venture crumbled. After learning the law of substitution, he replaced that fear with, "I am always led to prosperous, lasting business opportunities." Within 6 months, he reopened his company, this time with the right partners, and results beyond expectation. You can begin right now with a simple replacement exercise. Write down 5 negative or limiting phrases you often say. Rewrite each one as a positive, empowering affirmation. Speak them aloud every morning, and especially in moments when you feel tempted to repeat the old phrase. I invite you to share one of your new affirmations in the comments. Together, we can create a bank of powerful words so that anyone who visits can find the phrase that speaks directly to their heart. You may be surprised to see how the collective energy of a community can amplify the strength of each affirmation. In the next part, we will explore intuition, the invisible guide that shows you when and how to speak the right word at the perfect moment, so the universe opens the very door you need. This will be the piece that connects everything you've learned so far into a complete living picture. My dear friend, we've spoken about the law of return, the 3 levels of the mind, and the power of the spoken word. Now it is time to open the door to what I call the golden moment, that perfect point where your words and actions align seamlessly with the rhythm of the universe. And to find that moment, you need a very special guide, intuition. Florence Scovel Shinn called intuition the whisper of the superconscious, a gentle yet commanding voice that knows the shortest and best route to your destination. Yet many miss this voice, mistaking it for impulsive emotion, or allowing the noise of worry and doubt to drown it out. So how do you tell true intuition from a passing impulse? True intuition often arrives suddenly, briefly, and carries a sense of lightness and clarity. It doesn't argue or try to persuade. Like a flash of light in your mind, it brings peace and quiet confidence, even if it challenges your logic. Impulsive emotion, on the other hand, tends to be loud, urgent, and often comes with anxiety or overexcitement. It pushes you to act immediately out of fear of missing out, or to satisfy a fleeting emotional rush. A simple test is to give yourself time. If it's true intuition, the certainty and peace will still be there, the next day often stronger. If it's just impulse, it will fade into doubt or unease. I recall a story one of Florence's students told. She was invited to invest in a project that sounded too good to be true, high returns, low risk. Her heart raced, and she wanted to sign immediately. But when she sat quietly and asked herself, "Is this the right step for me?" a deep, uneasy silence filled the room. She decided to wait one more day. The next morning, she discovered the project was actually an elaborate scam. Had she ignored that quiet warning, the outcome would have been very different. Intuition not only steers you away from danger, it also leads you toward unexpected opportunities. I know of a man named Michael who had been searching for a new job for months. One morning, a thought came suddenly call Tom. Tom was an old friend he hadn't spoken to in over 2 years. That call led to a meeting, and within a week Michael was introduced to the very position he had been dreaming of. To cultivate and recognize your intuition, try these steps. Create quiet space. Spend at least 10 minutes a day sitting in stillness, breathing deeply, letting go of mental chatter. Ask a clear question. Intuition responds best to specifics. Instead of, "What should I do?" try, "What is the best next step I can take toward my goal of X?" Record the signal immediately. An image, a phrase, a sudden idea, write it down so you don't lose it. Act when there's a double confirmation. If your intuition speaks and an external sign follows, like someone mentioning the same idea, that's often your cue to move. I'd like you and our community to turn the comments into an intuition journal, a place where each person shares a moment they followed their intuition and the wonderful result that followed. By doing this, we'll encourage each other to trust that inner voice more fully. And in the next part, we'll place the final piece of the puzzle, trustful surrender. This is the step that turns everything you've learned, the law of return, the power of words and intuition, into a gentle flow, where you no longer push life, but allow life to carry you to what's best. This is also when miracles happen, most naturally. My dear friend, we have traveled together through the law of return. The 3 levels of the mind, the power of the spoken word, and the art of listening to intuition. Now we arrive at the final step, trustful surrender. This is where you stop straining to control every detail and allow life to arrange itself in its own perfect order. Florence Scovel Shinn once said, "No one can hold on to something too tightly without causing it to slip away." When you let go, you allow the universe to bring you something better. Surrender here does not mean giving up. It means placing absolute trust that the very best will come at the perfect time, even if it looks nothing like your original plan. There is a gentle yet unshakable strength in living from a place of trust. You are no longer haunted by when or how, but instead you keep your heart and mind open to possibilities your limited logic could never invent. One story that captures this beautifully is Anna's. For years, she searched for a meaningful relationship. She tried to find love going on countless dates, only to end up disappointed. When she learned about trustful surrender, she shifted her focus. She began loving herself, doing what made her happy, and affirming each day, "I trust that perfect love is finding its way to me." 6 months later, while traveling with a friend, she met the man who would become her husband by pure chance in a tiny cafe completely outside of any plan. Trustful surrender requires a daily habit of keeping your faith alive. Here are simple practices you can use. Morning. Set your trust. Upon waking, speak an affirmation such as, "Today, everything that happens is working toward my highest good." Visualize your day unfolding smoothly, filled with pleasant surprises. During the day, release the grip. Whenever you feel fear or impatience, take 3 deep breaths and remind yourself, "I release control and trust the flow of life." Evening, record the small miracles. Before sleeping, write down at least 3 good things that happened, no matter how small. This trains your mind to notice that the universe is always working on your behalf. Act on guided impulses. When intuition prompts an action, take it, but hold the outcome loosely. Trust that whatever follows is a step forward, even if it doesn't look like the final answer. Be fully present. Practice being here now. Enjoy your meal without distraction. Listen to a friend without drifting. Watch the sunset without thinking of yesterday or tomorrow. Remember, trust is a spiritual muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it grows. I invite you and our community to join the 21-Day Trust Challenge. In the comments, share one affirmation you will use for the next 21 days and return each day to post a small miracle you've noticed. Together, we will witness transformation in real time. And when you have learned the law, spoken the powerful word, listen to your intuition. and surrendered in faith, the conclusion of this journey will open before you, a way to weave all these pieces into one living whole, so that you not only play the game of life, but win it with serenity and joy. The final chapter will be our closing reflection, a call for you to step into a new season of life with a renewed heart and a new way of walking in the world. My dear friend, we've traveled a long road together, from recognizing the law of return, to exploring the 3 levels of the mind, to wielding the power of the spoken word, to listening for the whisper of intuition, and finally, to the art of trustful surrender. Each piece you've learned is more than a beautiful idea. It is a living tool ready to reshape your circumstances from the inside out. Florence Scovel Shinn once said, "The game of life is not a battle, but a flowing stream of trust and obedience to intuition. When you trust, you are guided. When you speak the powerful word, you plant a new seed. When you release, you make way for the very best to come without obstruction." Imagine this starting today. Every morning, you wake with a positive affirmation. Every step you take is quietly guided by intuition. And whenever you face a challenge, you resist the urge to control and instead choose to trust the perfect unfolding of life. Your days become like a flowing melody, where you are both the player and the listener, both the creator and the witness. But change will not come if you only listen and nod in agreement. It comes the moment you begin to practice. So here is my invitation to you. Choose one affirmation to begin using tomorrow morning. Listen for one intuitive nudge and take the first small action it suggests. Share in the comments the affirmation you chose, or a moment when intuition led you to something good. In doing so, we stop being isolated listeners and become a community planting seeds together and watching the miracles grow. If this message has brought you light, I encourage you to subscribe so we can continue walking this path side by side. Each week, I'll share new insights and tools, so you can not only survive the game of life, but truly win it with peace and joy. Before we close, I want to leave you with an image. Picture yourself standing before a radiant door. Every powerful word you speak, every moment you listen to intuition, every time you let go and trust, they are like golden keys in your hand. When you use them, the door swings open to reveal a path leading into a life you once thought could only exist in dreams. And now it is simply waiting for you to walk in. So are you ready? Begin today, let the miracles unfold, and let this community be here to witness your beautiful journey.